Situations change, circumstances rearrange, so don't dwell in sorrow. What you can't change today, you can change tomorrow. We can pound our heads against the wall, attempting to solve problems big and small. Time keeps passing as we try. Problems, frustration, it makes you cry. Don't give up, don't blame yourself. You are not a magic elf. What is impossible today, you solve tomorrow. These problems go away. Once can be erased. Power, searching for solution every single hour. But to do it's well, on things not so well, not very well. Like the present inability hold us back every time you try and fail. Get closer to the day your heart will swell. Because you nailed it, oh, you nailed it. Stressing over what we can't control is a waste of our mind. It is beating up our soul. Don't dwell on the headache, don't dwell in defeat. Give it a rest, bro. Let someone else take the seat. Don't give up, don't blame yourself. You are not a magic elf. What is impossible today, you solve tomorrow. These problems go away. These problems go away. Once can be erased. Problems go away. Once can be erased. Problems go away. Cause nail and lay. Don't dwell in defeat. Give it a rest, every time you fell on things not so well, not very well. Don't let the present inability hold us back. Every time you try and fail, get closer to the day your heart will swell. Oh yeah. Cause you nailed it. Nailed it, bro. You nailed it. Stressing over what we can't control is a waste of our mind. It is beating up our soul. Don't dwell on the headache, soul. Don't dwell on the headache. Don't dwell in defeat. Give it a rest. Let someone else take the seat. Inability hold us back. Every time you try and fail, you get closer to the day your heart will swell. Oh yeah. Cause you nailed it. Oh yeah. Because you nailed it. And you nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Zanur the Destroyer, or James E. Parks Jr., and I'm here to read some stuff to you that I think is extremely important for our nation. Um, so, without further ado or further ado, here we go. So, how would co-determination be beneficial to workers and management? Well, co-determination, a system where workers have a say in company decision making, can offer several benefits to both workers and management. The benefits for workers can be improved working conditions. Co-determination can lead to better working conditions as workers have a direct role in decision makings regarding working hours, safety measures, training opportunities, and workplace policies. There would be increased job satisfaction and motivation. When employees feel heard and valued, their job satisfaction and motivation tend to increase, leading to higher productivity and lower turnover rates. Enhanced communication and cooperation. Co-determination fosters open communication and cooperation between workers and management, leading to a more positive and collaborative work environment. Fair wages and benefits. Workers' representatives can negotiate for fairer wages, benefits, and profit sharing arrangements, ensuring a more equitable distribution of company resources. The benefits for management are access to valuable insights and knowledge. Workers possess valuable knowledge and insights about their daily tasks and processes. Co-determination allows management to tap into this knowledge, leading to better decision making and problem solving. There would be reduced conflict and improved labor relations. By involving workers in decision making, co-determination can help reduce conflict and improve labor relations, leading to a more stable and productive workplace. Enhanced company reputation and employee loyalty. Companies that practice co-determination often enjoy a better reputation as society responsible employ often enjoy a better reputation as socially responsible employers, attract top talent, and fostering employee loyalty. There would be increased innovation and productivity. Co-determination can encourage innovation and creativity as workers feel empowered to share their ideas and contribute to company goals. This can lead to increased productivity and competitiveness. Some important considerations are while co-determination offers numerous benefits, successful implementation requires careful consideration of the specific context and needs of each company. Factors such as company size, industry, and existing management structures can influence the most effective approach to co-determination, and overall, co-determination can be a valuable tool for creating a more equitable, collaborative, and productive workplace benefit both workers and management. So, what models of co-determination has been the most successful? The German model of co-determination is often considered the most successful and influential example. It involves two key components. One, board level co-determination in large companies over 2,000 employees. Workers elect representatives to supervisory board which oversees the management board and has significant decision making power. This ensures workers have a strong voice in strategic decisions like mergers, acquisitions, and major investments. Two, workers' councils. In companies with at least 5 employees, workers elect works councils, which have rights to information, consultation, and co-determination on various operational issues such as working hours, health and safety, and personnel decisions. The success of the German model can be attributed to several factors. Legal framework. Strong legal protections for co-determination rights are enshrined in German law, making it difficult for companies to circumvent or weaken the system. Strong unions. Boop. We get rid of the flames for now. Okay. Strong unions. The German model is closely linked to a strong organized labor movement which plays a crucial role in negotiating and enforcing co-determination rights. Cultural acceptance. Co-determination is deeply ingrained in German corporate culture and is widely accepted by both workers and management as a legitimate and beneficial way of organizing businesses. However, it is important to note that the German model is not without its challenges and criticisms. Some argue that it can lead to slower decision making and hinder flexibility. Others criticize the limited representation of women and minorities on supervisory boards, which we can easily deal with that. Despite these challenges, the German model has inspired co-determination initiatives in other countries, such as Austria, Denmark, and Sweden. While specific implementation varies, these models share a common or a commitment to giving workers a meaningful voice in company decision making. Ultimately, the most successful model of co-determination depends on specific context and goals. What works well in Germany may not be directly transferable to other countries with different legal frameworks, union traditions, and corporate cultures. Here are some resources for further exploration. You can look the co-determination difference at prospect.org/labor/co-determination. Um, what you call it? Hyphen difference. Models for co-determination go to peoplespolicyproject.org 1917/09/08 models for worker co-determination in Europe and co-determination and power in the workplace at www.epi.org/unequal power publications co-determination and power in the workplace. By examining different models and their outcomes, policymakers and businesses can gain valuable insights for designing effective co-determination systems that benefit both workers and companies. So, how can unions help with the institution of co-determination in America? Unions can play a crucial role in promoting and implementing co-determination in America through several avenues. One, collective bargaining. Unions can negotiate for co-determination rights as part of collective bargaining agreements. This could involve securing seats for worker representatives on company boards, establishing works councils, or creating mechanisms for worker input on specific issues like workplace safety or scheduling. Two, advocacy and lobbying. Unions can advocate for legislative changes that promote co-determination, such as amending corporate governance laws to require board level representation for workers or passing legislation that protects and strengthens works councils. Three, education and organizing. Unions can educate their members about the benefits of co-determination and mobilize support for its implementation. This could involve training workers on how to participate effectively in decision-making processes and organizing campaigns to pressure companies to adopt co-determination practices. Four, building coalitions. Unions can partner with other organizations such as community groups, workers' centers, and progressive policymakers to build broader support for co-determination and create a more favorable political environment for its adoption. Five, piloting and experimenting. Unions can work with companies to pilot co-determination initiatives and demonstrate their effectiveness. This could involve setting up models for work councils or experimenting with different forms of worker representation on boards. Six, sharing best practices. Unions can share best practices and lessons learned from co-determination initiatives in other countries such as Germany with American companies and policymakers. By leveraging their collective bargaining power, political influence, and organizing capacities, unions can be a driving force in advancing co-determination in America. However, it is important to recognize that the path to co-determination in the U.S. is likely to be complex and challenging, given the different legal and cultural contexts compared to countries like Germany. Here are some additional points to consider. The role of public opinion. Unions can play a role in shaping public opinion about co-determination by highlighting its potential benefits for workers, companies, and society as a whole. Adapting to the American context. Unions will need to develop co-determination models that fit the specific legal and cultural context of the United States, taking into account factors like the existing corporate governance system and the relative weaknesses of the labor movement compared to some European countries. Building trust and collaboration. Successful implementation of co-determination requires building trust and collaboration between workers, unions, and management. This may involve overcoming historical antagonisms and developing new models of partnership. By pursuing these strategies, unions can pave the way for a more inclusive and democratic workplace culture in America where workers have a meaningful voice in the decisions that affect their lives. All right. How can a national economic strike by laborers force American corporations to accept co-determinations? This is totally important. Okay, listen up. A national economic strike by laborers could potentially force American corporations to accept co-determination through the following mechanisms. Economic pressure. A national strike would significantly disrupt economic activity, causing losses for businesses and impacting supply chains. Corporations facing financial pressure might be more willing to negotiate with labor unions to end the strike and resume operations. A, a large scale strike would likely garner significant media attention and public sympathy, especially if workers can effectively communicate their demands for co determination. Public pressure could influence corporations to adopt co determination practices to improve their public image and avoid negative publicity. A nationwide strike could also create political pressure on lawmakers to intervene and mediate negotiations between labor unions and corporations. This could lead to legislative changes that mandate or incentivize co-determination practices. Demonstrations of worker power. A successful national strike would demonstrate the collective power of workers and their ability to disrupt the economy. This could encourage other workers in other industries to demand co determination rights and embolden unions to negotiate for greater worker participation in decision making. However, there are several challenges and potential drawbacks to consider. The success of a national strike depends on high participation rates and effective organization. If the strike fails to significantly disrupt the economy, its impact on corporate behavior will be limited. Corporations might resist co determination demands, fearing a loss of control and potential negative impacts on profitability. They could employ various tactics to undermine the strike, such as hiring replacement workers or lobbying against pro labor legislation. While a strike could force corporations to negotiate, it could also have negative economic consequences for workers and the broader economy. Workers would lose wages during a strike, and businesses might face long term financial difficulties. The legal framework in the United States currently does not mandate co determination. Achieving legislative changes to support co determination would require overcoming significant political hurdles and opposition from business interests. In conclusion, a national economic strike by laborers could potentially force American corporations to accept co determination through economic pressure, public opinion, and political leverage. However, the success of such a strategy depends on various factors, including strike effectiveness, corporate resistance, economic consequences, and legal and political barriers. It is crucial for labor unions to carefully weigh the potential risks and benefits before embarking on such a large scale action. Uh, Let me get a drink of water and we will continue. All right, now, brothers and sisters, how could a union run Victory Garden program help laborers be successful in forcing their demands in a national economic strike? A union run Victory Garden program could significantly bolster the success of a national economic strike by addressing key challenges faced by laborers during prolonged work stoppages. One of the primary concerns for striking workers is ensuring access to food for themselves and their families. Victory gardens can provide a reliable source of fresh produce, supplementing any strike funds or government assistance they may receive. This reduces their reliance on expensive grocery stores and ensures a steady supply of nutritious food improving their resilience and ability to sustain the strike. Victory gardens can serve as community hubs where workers can come together, share resources, and support each other during the strike. This fosters a sense of solidarity and shared purpose, which is crucial for maintaining morale and commitment to the cause. The gardens, oh, where do we go? Oh man, I lost my place. Hang on. Okay, here we go. I found it. Ah man, I lost my place. Buildings care. Victory gardens can serve as community hubs. All right, victory gardens can serve as community hubs where workers can come together, share resources, and support each other during the strike. This fosters a sense of solidarity and shared purpose, which is crucial for maintaining morale and commitment to the cause. The gardens can also become spaces for organizing meetings, educational workshops, and cultural events, further strengthening the union's collective power. By growing their own food, workers can significantly reduce their grocery bills, freeing up financial resources for other essential needs during the strike. This can help them withstand financial pressures and prolong the strike, increasing their leverage in negotiations with employers. Victory gardens can generate positive media attention and public support for the striking workers. The image of laborers working together to provide for their communities can be a powerful tool for garnering sympathy and putting pressure on employers to concede to their demands. Participating in a victory garden program can equip workers with valuable gardening and organizational skills, fostering self sufficiency and empowerment. This can be particularly beneficial for marginalized workers who may have limited access to resources and opportunities. Victory gardens can contribute to local environmental sustainability by promoting biodiversity, reducing food miles, and minimizing waste. This aligns with the growing public concern for environmental issues and can further enhance positive images of the striking workers. By addressing food security, fostering community, providing financial release, enhancing the public image, and empowering workers, a union-run Victory Garden program can significantly strengthen the resolve and resiliency of laborers during a national economic strike. This can increase their bargaining power, prolong the strike if necessary, and ultimately improve their chances of achieving demands for co-determination. So what would happen if the workers suddenly walked off and abandoned their jobs in mass at places such as refineries and chemical plants? I don't want this to happen, but it could happen. If workers suddenly walked off and abandoned their jobs in mass at refineries and chemical plants, the consequences would be severe and far reaching. The immediate impacts, dang it, the immediate impacts would be a complete shutdown of production. The refineries and chemical plants are complex facilities that require continuous operation to maintain safe conditions. Without workers to monitor and control processes, production would have to cease. Safety risks These facilities handle hazardous materials. A sudden shutdown could lead to dangerous situations. Leaks, fires, or explosions could occur if equipment is not properly shut down and maintained. Refineries and chemical plants are critical links in the supply chain for fuel, plastics, fertilizers, and other essential products. A sudden stoppage would cause shortages and price spikes, impacting industries and consumers nationwide. The short term impacts would be the shutdown of refineries and chemical plants would ripple through the economy. Transportation, manufacturing, agriculture, and other sectors would be severely affected by the lack of essential inputs. The government would likely step in to address the crisis. They might try to negotiate with workers or unions, impose emergency regulations, or even take over the operation of facilities to ensure public safety and minimize economic damage. Depending on the scale and duration of the walkout, there could be concerns about public safety due to potential chemical releases or other hazards. Evacuations or other emergency measures might be necessary. The long term impacts could be the walkout would likely lead to significant changes in labor relations. Unions would gain leverage, and companies might be forced to reconsider their compensation benefits and safety practices. The government might enact new regulations to prevent future walkouts and ensure the safety of critical infrastructure. Could include stricter oversight of refineries and chemical plants or requirements for minimum staffing levels. The disruption could accelerate the transition to alternative energy sources and a more sustainable production methods. It could also lead to changes in the location of refineries and chemical plants, as companies might seek to diversify their operations to reduce risks. Overall, a mass walkout at refineries and chemical plants would be a catastrophic event with widespread consequences. It would not only disrupt the economy and pose safety risks, but would also trigger significant changes in labor relations, regulations, and the energy landscape. This is pretty long, ain't it? All right, brothers and sisters, in a national economic strike by laborers, why would it be necessary to shun shopping at small businesses as well as large businesses? In a national economic strike by laborers, the goal is to exert maximum economic pressure on the entire system. This means disrupting the flow of money and goods as much as possible. While large corporations are often the primary targets, shunning small businesses is also important for several reasons. One, economic impact. Even though even though individual small businesses might seem less significant, their collective contribution to the economy is substantial. By avoiding them, strikers can reduce overall consumer spending, further pressuring the government and larger corporations to negotiate. Two, supply chain links. Many small businesses rely on larger corporations for supplies and distribution networks. By boycotting small businesses, strikers indirectly impact the revenue of larger companies, amplifying the strike's effect. Three, solidarity and unity. A national strike is a collective action. By including small businesses in the boycott, strikers demonstrate solidarities with workers across all sectors of the economy, regardless of their employer's size. This strengthens the message of the strike and creates a sense of unity among diverse groups of workers. Four, preventing strike breaking. Some small businesses might be tempted to profit from the strike by attracting customers who are avoiding larger stores. By avoiding all businesses, strikers prevent this from happening and maintain the integrity of the strike. 5. Long term goals. Beyond the immediate demands of the strike, the goal of many labor movements is to create a more equitable and just economic system. By boycotting small businesses that exploit their workers or engage in unethical practices, workers can send a message about the kind of economy they envision. It's important to note that this strategy can be controversial and may have negative impacts on small business owners who are not the primary targets of the strike. However, from the perspective of striking workers, the short term sacrifices are necessary to achieve long term goals and create lasting change. In what way would giving minimum wage workers a cost of living wage increase every January the 1st help workers and businesses? Well, tying the minimum wage increase to a cost of living with an annual adjustments on January 1st could provide several benefits for both workers and businesses. Benefits for workers: increased purchasing power. As the cost of living rises, workers' wages would automatically adjust, ensuring their incomes keeps pace with inflation. This helps maintain their purchasing power and ability to afford basic necessities like housing, food, and health care. It would reduce poverty and inequality by ensuring that the minimum wage remains a living wage. This policy could help reduce poverty and narrow the income gap between low wage workers and the rest of society. It would improve morale and productivity. When workers feel financially secure and valued, their morale and job satisfaction tend to increase. This can lead to higher productivity and lower turnover rates, benefiting both employees and employers. The benefits for businesses include increased consumer spending. When low wage workers have more money to spend, they are more likely to spend it on goods and services, boosting local economies and supporting businesses. It would reduce employee turnover. A living wage can help reduce employee turnover by making low wage jobs more attractive and reducing the need for workers to constantly seek better paying positions. This can save businesses money on recruitment and training costs. It would improve reputation. Businesses that pay a living wage often enjoy a better reputation as socially responsible employers, attracting top talent and fostering consumer loyalty. The potential challenges would be inflationary pressure. Some economists argue that raising the minimum wage would contribute to inflation, as businesses might pass on increased labor costs to consumers. However, it, research on this issue is mixed. The impact is likely to be small. Small business impact. Small businesses with tight profit margins might struggle to absorb increased labor costs, potentially leading to job cuts or reduced hours. However, there are ways to mitigate this, such as providing tax credits or other support for small businesses. Overall, tying the minimum wage increases to cost of living could be a significant step towards ensuring that all workers can afford a decent standard of living. While there may be some challenges to address, the potential benefits for workers, businesses, and the overall economy are substantial. There are additional living resources like the Living Wage Calculator. The MIT Living Wage Calculator can help estimate the living wage for different family types in various locations. Go to livingwage.mit.edu. The National Employment Law Project, NELP, NELP, advocates for policies that raise wages and improve working conditions. Go to them at nelp.org/employer. Explore the issues of minimum wage or minimum living wage. There you go. By understanding the potential benefits and challenges of this policy, policymakers and businesses can make informed decisions about how to best support workers and create a more equitable and prosperous society. Okay, folks, what's the difference between a living wage and a thriving wage? Both living and thriving wage are concepts related to fair compensations for workers, but they differ in their scopes and goals. Living wage definition: the minimum income necessary for a worker to meet their basic needs: food, housing, clothing, transportation, health care, etc., in a specific geographic location. Focus: ensuring basic financial security and preventing poverty. Calculation: usually calculated based on the cost of living and family size using tools like the MIT Living Wage Calculator. Goal: to provide workers with enough income to cover essential expenses and maintaining a minimum standard of living. Thriving wage definition: an income that not only covers basic needs, but also allows for additional expenses that contribute to a higher quality of life, such as savings, education, entertainment, and personal development. Focus: going beyond mere survival to enable financial well being and opportunities for growth and development. Calculation: less standardized, often calculating as a multiple of the living wage or based on a broader set of criteria. Goal: to empower workers to build a better future for themselves and their families, not just to get by. Example: in a given city, the living wage for a single adult might be $15 per hour. A thriving wage in the same city could be calculated as double that amount, $30 an hour, to allow for savings, education, and other discretionary spending. In summary, while both concepts are important for promoting fair compensation, the living wage focuses on meeting basic needs, while the thriving age aims to provide a more comfortable and fulfilling life for workers. Why would giving laborers a thriving wage be better for businesses than giving laborers a living wage? While both living and thriving wages aim to improve the financial well-being of workers. Offering a thriving wage can present several advantages for businesses compared to a living wage. Increased employee retention and reduced turnover. A thriving wage allows employees to not only meet their basic needs but also save for the future, pursue further education, and engage in leisure activities. This can lead to higher job satisfaction and a stronger sense of loyalty to the company. Higher turnover rates are costly for businesses due to recruitment, training, and lost productivity. By offering a thriving wage, companies that can attract and retain top talent, saving on these expenses in the long run. You get improved productivity and morale. Employees who are financially secure and have the means to enjoy a comfortable lifestyle are more likely to be motivated and engaged in their work. A, a thriving wage can alleviate financial stress, leading to improved mental and physical health, which in turn can enhance focus and productivity at work. It can also increase morale, can foster a positive work environment, leading to better teamwork and collaboration. Um, you get enhanced company reputation and brand image. Companies that pay a thriving wage are often seen as socially responsible and committed to the well being of their employees. This can attract positive media attention and improve the company's reputation among consumers and potential employees. A strong brand image can lead to increased customer loyalty and competitive advantage in the market. It would reduce absenteeism. Financial stress is a major contributor to absenteeism. While employees struggle to make ends meet, they may be more likely to miss work due to illness, childcare issues, or transportation problems. By offering a thriving wage, companies can reduce financial stress and consequently absenteeism, leading to improved productivity and operational efficiency. You would have increased innovation and creativity. Employees who are not preoccupied with financial worries have more mental bandwidth to focus on their work and contribute to innovative ideas. A thriving wage can foster a culture of creativity and problem solving as employees feel valued and empowered to contribute to the company's success. It is important to note that implementing a thriving wage may require a larger initial investment for businesses compared to a living wage. However, the long-term benefits in terms of employee retention, productivity, reputation, and innovation can outweigh the costs, leading to a more sustainable and successful business model. So, how does a stagnant minimum wage negatively affect the stability of the Social Security system? A stagnant minimum wage can negatively affect the stability of the Social Security system in several ways. Social Security is primarily funded through payroll taxes paid by both employees and employers. When the minimum wage stagnates, the incomes of low wage workers remain stagnant or even declines in real terms due to inflation. This leads to lower payroll tax contributions, which can strain Social Security system's funding. A stagnant minimum wage means that workers starting their careers at the minimum wage will likely have lower lifetime earnings compared to those who started a higher wage that kept pace with inflation. Lower lifetime earnings translates to lower Social Security benefits upon retirement, putting additional pressure on the system to provide adequate support. When low wage workers cannot afford to save for retirement due to stagnant wages, they become more reliant on Social Security as their primary source of income in later years. This increased dependence on the system can strain its resources and make it more difficult to meet the needs of future retirees. A stagnant minimum wage can also hinder economic growth. When low wage workers have less disposable income, they spend less, leading to reduced demands for goods and services. This can slow down economic activity and limit the growth of the tax base, which is essential for funding programs like Social Security. As the financial struggles of low-wage workers becomes more apparent due to stagnant wages, there may be increased political pressures to raise Social Security benefits to compensate. This can further strain the system's finances and create challenges for its long-term sustainability. In conclusion, a stagnant minimum wage has a cascading effect on the Social Security system. It leads to reduced payroll tax contributions, lower lifetime earnings, increased reliance on the systems, reduced economic growth, and political pressure for increased benefits. Addressing this issue through policies that ensure a living wage for workers can contribute to the long term sustainability and stability of the Social Security system. And don't ensure that it's just a thriving wage, ensure that it's a living wage. Don't ensure that it's a living wage, ensure it's a thriving wage, as we discussed just a minute ago, the difference between a living and a thriving wage. This is so important, So that's what I've got for you today. These things I believe are extremely important, and that we gotta have them. Because if we don't have them, things are just going to get worse and worse for labor, and you're going to see a lot more homeless people on the streets with tents, and you're going to be seeing a lot more people at food lines and everything. So get busy. Let's do this. We can do it. You know, and don't let anybody tell you we can't do them. Don't let anybody give you any lame excuses neither, because we can do them. You know, so let's do it. So this is Annoyer the Destroyer, destroying all these damned myths about everything that we've been brainwashed into believing. So we'll see you later. I hope you guys have a great day and all kinds of stuff like that. So you guys take care of yourself. Okay. Consider these things. Tell your political representatives, share these ideas about co-determination, about a thriving wage, about everything, whatever is in this video, you share it with people. I thank you very, very much.
Situations change, circumstances rearrange, so don't dwell in sorrow. What you can't change today, you can change tomorrow. We can pound our heads against the wall, attempting to solve problems big and small. Time keeps passing as we try. Problems, frustration, it makes you cry. control is a waste of our mind. It is beating up our soul. Don't dwell on the headache, don't dwell in defeat. Give it a rest, bro. Let someone else take the seat. Don't give up, don't blame yourself. You are not a magic elf. What is impossible today, you solve tomorrow. These problems go away. These problems go away. Thoughts can be erased, problems go away. Thoughts can be erased, problems go away. Don't dwell in defeat. Give it a rest, bro. Every time you dwell on things not so well, not very well. Don't let the present inability hold us back. Every time you try and fail, if it comes to the day, your heart will swell. Oh yeah. Push down nailed it, bro. Nailed it. Stressing over what we can't control is a waste of our mind. It is beating up our soul. Don't dwell